Making headlines. The President calls on the staff of 3 ministries which were severely affected by a fire to work with renewed hope despite the loss of invaluable equipment and resources. The President declares Thursday, 2nd January 2025 as a government holiday, and the Vice President meets with key Chinese officials to discuss strategies for enhanced cooperation and strengthen bilateral ties to bolster Maldives-China relations.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Idham Naeem. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz calls on the staff of 3 ministries which were severely affected by a fire on 12th December to work with renewed hope and vigor despite the loss of invaluable equipment and resources.
President Dr. Mohammad Muiz calls on the staff of 3 ministries which were severely affected by a fire on 12th December to work with renewed hope despite the loss of invaluable equipment and resources. The fire, which erupted early Thursday morning, caused extensive damage to the building housing the Ministry of Housing, Land and Urban Development and the Ministry of Construction and Infrastructure. The adjacent green building, home to the Ministry of Climate Change, Environment and Energy, also sustained damage. An office of the Malé City Council was located in the affected building. In the aftermath, services and operations of the affected ministries were suspended. The work and services of the 3 ministries have since been relocated to Darbaruge Convention Center in Malé. During a visit to Darbaruge, President Dr. Muiz met with the staff of the 3 ministries, urging them to work with increased energy, determination and enthusiasm. He inspected the efforts made to relocate and recommence the services of the ministries and met separately with the management and staff. President Dr. Muiz characterized the fire as a deeply impactful event for all the staff, highlighting the destruction of a significant number of government documents and personal belongings. He expressed his gratitude to the staff who had worked tirelessly to ensure the continuity of services provided by the ministries. Regarding a permanent solution, the President stated that he is considering relocating the services of the 3 ministries to a government building instead of renting a place. Citing the challenges faced by approximately 500 staff members working in the same location, President Dr. Muiz announced that the government is actively seeking solutions to ease their situation. He assured that despite a shortage of computers and other equipment, the government is dedicated to finding resolutions. Efforts are also underway to build a cafeteria, additional toilets and a parking area in the Darbaruge grounds. President Dr. Muiz also advised the staff to be patient, friendly and work as a single team. Authorities are working to see if the servers affected by the fire can be recovered. President Dr. Muiz assured that even if the servers are not recovered, the government will find a way to recover the lost documents and information through other government ministries and agencies. He also visited the Galal Madrasa building to inspect the relocation of documents and equipment belonging to the Malé City Council.
President Dr. Mohammad Muiz has declared Thursday, 2nd January 2025 as a government holiday. The declaration was announced by the President's office. The decision aims to provide government employees with an uninterrupted break extending the New Year holiday. The President's office said that while 1st January 2025, a public holiday on the occasion of the New Year, falls on a Wednesday, the additional holiday on Thursday will allow for a continuous period of rest leading into the weekend. Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif meets with key Chinese officials to discuss strategies for enhanced cooperation and strengthen bilateral ties to bolster Maldives-China relations.
Vice President Latif meets with key Chinese officials to discuss strategies for enhanced cooperation and strengthen bilateral ties to bolster Maldives-China relations. As part of his ongoing visit to China, Vice President Latif held discussions with the Vice Chairman of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, Wang Yong. The high-level meeting also saw the attendance of the Chairman of the China International Development Cooperation Agency and the Chairman of the CPP-CC Yunnan Provincial Committee. The dialogue centered on fostering cooperation in vital areas of the blue economy, with particular emphasis on environmental protection, ocean conservation, and addressing climate change. According to a statement released by the President's office, both sides recognized the importance of these sectors in driving sustainable development and enhancing economic resilience. Additionally, the meeting explored avenues to further strengthen tourism development, higher education, infrastructure development, and high-level exchanges between the Maldives and China. Vice President Latif and Chairman Wang also expressed a shared commitment to deepening collaboration in these areas to benefit both nations. Concluding the discussions, Vice President Latif and Chairman Wang reaffirmed their dedication to strengthen the Maldives-China bilateral ties, underscoring the significance of sustained engagement and mutual support. Vice President Latif's visit to China coincides with his attendance at the 3rd China-Indian Ocean Region Forum on Blue Economy Development Cooperation.
Minister of Defense Mohammad Ghassan Maumoon has stated that President Dr. Mohammad Moises' policy is to enhance military capabilities while ensuring regional security. He made the remarks while addressing a ceremony held to hand over diving and communication equipment donated to the Maldives National Defense Force (MNDF) by the Japanese government. The equipment, valued at USD 5.18 million, was presented to the Maldives government by the Japanese ambassador to the Maldives, Takeuchi Midori. Speaking at the handover ceremony, Minister Ghassan noted that Japan has consistently extended significant assistance to the Maldives in various sectors. He said the Japanese government's most recent contribution further strengthens the bilateral relations between both countries. The minister emphasized that the donation aligns with President Dr. Mohammad Moises' vision to enhance the Maldives' military capabilities while also ensuring regional security. He noted that the President is undertaking this significant responsibility while performing both internal and external priorities. Maldives condemns the decision by the Israeli government to approve the expansion of illegal settlements in the occupied Syrian Golan.
Maldives condemns the decision by the Israeli government to approve the expansion of illegal settlements in the occupied Syrian Golan. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs in a statement has said that the Israeli government's decision marks a blatant violation of international law, relevant United Nations Security Council and General Assembly resolutions, and further undermines ongoing efforts towards peace in the region. The statement said that the government of Maldives calls upon the international community to take immediate and decisive action to compel Israel to cease its illegal settlement activities and end its aggression on Syrian territories. Further noting that the Syrian Golan has been occupied since 1967, the Maldives urged Israel to adhere to the relevant United Nations resolutions, including Security Council Resolution 497, 1981. The Maldives also reiterates its firm and principled position in support of Syria's sovereignty, independence and territorial integrity, and the government fully supports all regional and international efforts aimed at restoring peace, security and stability in Syria, while ensuring the aspirations of its people are realized. Maldives' condemnation came after Israel's government on Sunday approved a plan to double the population of the annexed Golan Heights, just days after its troops seized a UN-monitored buffer zone bordering Syria as rebel forces moved on Damascus. The Golan Heights is a mountainous region at Syria's southwestern edge, most of which was captured by Israel during the 1967 Six-Day War and later annexed. It is separated from the Syrian side by the UN-patrolled buffer zone.
Minister of Health Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim says that the government is aiming to eradicate mother-to-child transmission of diseases like HIV.
Minister of Health Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim says that the government is aiming to eradicate mother-to-child transmission of diseases like HIV. Speaking during the ceremony to mark this year's World AIDS Day, Health Minister Nazim hailed the launch of 3 specific guidelines for the treatment of diseases such as AIDS as a significant achievement in the health sector. He said that the health sector ensures that people with such diseases are being given the necessary protection, compassion, and care through the system. The minister stressed the importance of early detection of AIDS and urged people to get tested as soon as possible if they suspect the disease has been contracted. He added that such issues can only be overcome if the whole country works together as one. Minister Nazim also announced that Maldives would be able to reach its aim of eradicating mother-to-child transmission of HIV, syphilis, and hepatitis B by the end of next year. The minister said the national health goal can only be achieved with the advice of professionals and scientists. Pointing out the recent nationwide ban on vaping and electronic cigarettes as an important step, the minister expressed hope of full cooperation from the public in such efforts for a healthy Maldives.
The Ministry of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development reveals that 2,116 students have registered in the Register of Students Studying Abroad. The minister launched efforts to compile a register of Maldivians studying abroad, which was designed to include both government scholarship recipients and students studying privately. It said more than 2,000 students have registered as students studying abroad thus far. As such, the ministry disclosed that 2,116 students have registered since the register was opened. The register includes 915 male students and 1,201 female students. The ministry said that these students include students on bilateral scholarships, government scholarships, government loans and student loans, students studying at their own expense or through other private means. It further noted that the purpose of the register is to facilitate the monitoring and management of students studying abroad. Ministry of Islamic Affairs confirms that a record number of people will leave for Umrah this year.
In recent years, the number of pilgrims from Maldives seeking Umrah pilgrimage increases each year. But in December, Saudi Arabia is set to receive a record number of pilgrims from the island nation. Umrah is a sacred journey that holds immense significance in the hearts of all Muslims. It is a beloved sunnah that offers a unique opportunity to refresh one's faith and cleanse one's soul. The number of people going for Umrah pilgrimage in Maldives has rapidly increased in recent years, which includes young people and children. It is also common for entire families to undertake the blessed pilgrimage. According to Maldives Airports Company Limited MSCL schedule, so far 5,796 pilgrims will travel to the blessed city of Mecca to perform the pilgrimage this month. The first group departed for Mecca on Sunday, while the last group will depart from the Maldives on 27th December. The Ministry of Islamic Affairs said the average for Umrah pilgrimage in December is usually around 4,000 people. Though it was difficult to say exactly how many Maldivians will perform the Umrah pilgrimage this month, the ministry confirmed that a record number of people will leave for Umrah this year. There are currently about 50 Umrah groups registered in the country. However, some people do not travel through a registered group. So, some Umrah groups have said that about 8,000 people from the Maldives are estimated to go for Umrah pilgrimage this December.
Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation, MMPRC, signs an MOU with the privately run ADK hospital to promote the medical tourism offerings of the Maldives. The agreement was signed on behalf of MMPRC by CEO and Managing Director Ibrahim Shiuri, while ADK's Managing Director Ahmad Affal signed on behalf of the hospital. Speaking after signing the MOU, MMPRC MD Ibrahim Shiuri noted that Maldives has been offering luxury tourism services for a long time. Shiuri said that the tourism industry will continue to diversify its tourism offerings to include medical tourism to enhance the country's popularity as a global travel destination, as well as support the development of the country's healthcare infrastructure. Under the agreement, MMPRC and ADK Hospital will work together to promote Maldives as a destination for high-quality medical services. MMPRC said that the partnership will also aim to boost the contribution of medical tourism to the country's economic growth and provide international standard health services to tourists. Meanwhile, ADK Managing Director Ahmad Affal said the hospital aims to attract tourists to Maldives' natural beauty alongside world-class health facilities and quality medical treatment through its collaboration with MMPRC. The European Commission awarded contracts to push forward delayed plans for a 10.6 billion euro USD 11.13 billion secure European satellite constellation in response to Elon Musk's Starlink and other fast-growing internet networks.
Could I ask you to sign this contract first?
The European Commission on Monday awarded contracts to push forward delayed plans for a 10.6 billion euro, $11.13 billion secure European satellite constellation in response to Elon Musk's Starlink and other fast-growing internet networks.
On behalf of the European Commission, the contract will be signed by Mr. Timo Pesonen in his capacity of contracting authority, and on the side of the industrial consortium by the three members represented.
The multi-orbit array of more than 280 satellites, known as RIS-2, will provide an encrypted backbone for European Union governments and public agencies and develop new commercial services. The Director General of the European Space Agency described the moment as a very defining moment for all involved in the journey towards a more stronger and connected Europe.
It is today a really defining moment for all of us in our journey towards a stronger, more connected and secure Europe. With the signature of the concession agreement for the implementation of the Union Secure Connectivity Programme and the ESA partnership project contract with the SpaceRISE Consortium, we are embarking on a new and exciting chapter of the European Union's third space flagship programme, IRIS², the Union Security Connectivity Programme.
The project is the European Union's third major initiative in space after Galileo navigation system and the Copernicus Earth Observation Network, which monitors climate change. It has been beset by differences over industrial work share and concerns from some countries, led by Germany, over the cost. But officials say rapid expansion of Musk's Starlink spurred efforts to show up Europe's so-called digital sovereignty.
UN Special Envoy to Syria, Geir Pedersen, visits on Sednaya prison, which had become known as a slaughterhouse under Syria's Bashar al-Assad rule.
UN Special Envoy to Syria, Geir Pedersen, visited Sednaya prison, which had become known as a slaughterhouse under Syria's Bashar al-Assad rule. Thousands of prisoners spilled out of Assad's merciless detention system after he was toppled on December 8 during a lightning advance by rebels that overturned 5 decades of his family's rule. Many detainees were met by tearful relatives who thought they had been executed years ago. During the visit, UN Special Envoy Geir Pedersen said that he was at a loss of words about what had happened in the Syrian prisons, acknowledging the unspeakable horrors they may have gone through.
We all have been shattered, and I think we are lost for words about what happened here. I have now talked to some of the prisoners, some of the detainees, some of the families, some of the grandchildren of those who were killed here. We have seen some who survived. I think it's been unspeakable, the horrors that they went through.
Geir Pedersen said that he wants to express his respect and pay homage to all victims as well.
So I just want in this way to be able to express, our respect and pay homage to all the victims. I'm afraid to all those who are missing still. to all those who were detained, to all those who were in prison, to all those who survived, and then, of course, to all the families, because there are so many families across Syria that have gone through this unspeakable horror.
Rights groups have reported mass executions in Syria's prisons, and the United States said in 2017 it had identified a new crematorium at Sednaya for hanged prisoners. Torture was widely documented.
Indian teenager Gukesh Domaraju returns to India amid media frenzy and fanfare at southern Chennai airport on Monday, after being declared the youngest chess world champion.
Indian teenager Gukesh Domaraju returned to India amid media frenzy and fanfare at southern Chennai airport on Monday, after being declared the youngest chess world champion.
I'm very glad to be here, and I could see the support and what it means to India, so I'm really glad to be here.
Gukesh became the youngest world champion by beating defending champion Ding Liren of China on Thursday, in a dramatic turn of events in the last game of a 14-game match in Singapore. The 18th world champion is at age 18, 4 years younger than Garry Kasparov, who had been the youngest world champion since 1985 when he beat Anatoly Karpov. Gukesh won Thursday's game with the black pieces after Ding wilted under pressure and blundered in what commentators considered to be a comfortable position, snatching the title with a final score of 7.5 to 6.5. The match was a 14-round long-time classical event with a prize fund of $2.5 million. Gukesh had qualified in April by winning the candidates tournament, an 8-player double round robin event featuring fellow Indians. They and their teammates from India won gold in the open and women's sections of the 45th Chess Olympiad in Budapest in September, with many professionals attributed to the efforts of former world champion Viswanathan Anand to promote chess in the country. World number 1 Magnus Carlsen, who had been world champion since 2013, relinquished his title in 2022, citing a lack of motivation.
Students of the Indian instrument tabla paid a tribute to musician Zakir Hussain on Monday following his death at age 73.
Students of the Indian instrument tabla paid tribute to the musician Zakir Hussain on Monday following his death aged 73. In a statement, Hussain's family said that he died from complications of idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, a chronic lung disease. A child prodigy, he was known for his dazzling solo performances and a raft of collaborative work with internationally renowned musicians such as George Harrison of the Beatles. In a social media post, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that Hussain will be remembered as a true genius who revolutionized the world of Indian classical music, adding that he also brought the tabla to the global stage, captivating millions with his unparalleled rhythm. According to the Grammy website, he was nominated for 7 Grammy Awards, winning 4, including 3 this year. He was also the recipient of India's highest honor for performing artists, the Sangeet Natak Academy Award. The eldest son of the legendary tabla player Ustad Allah Rakha, Hussain began his professional career at the age of 12, accompanying Indian classical musicians. By 18, he was touring internationally and would go on to work with the likes of Grateful Dead drummer Mickey Hart, cellist Yo-Yo Ma, jazz musician Herbie Hancock, and virtuoso guitarist John McLaughlin.
That's it for now. Thank you for watching PSM News. Have a good day.
దెన్ అనే కంతకి మెంబర్ ఉంటాం.